Good morning, students. Uh, Now, next we'll move with the different concept here in a highway engineering, that is highway development and planning. So, it is totally deals with the development and the planning and the development of the highways. The necessity of highway planning. The planning is the basic requirement for any new project or an expansion program, particularly when funds available are limited and the requirements are higher. Planning is very necessary when we are doing for a new project, or if any existing project we should do the expansion of that project. For that also we need the planning. It is very important when there will be less funds available. Funds are limited and the requirements are higher. In such cases, it is very important. It is very important for doing the planning. The objects of planning are to plan a road network for efficient and safe traffic operations, but at the minimum cost. Planning should be such that road network should be of efficient and safe traffic operations. There is movement is also safe, and there should not be any traffic in that. Okay, but at the end it is also in the minimum cost. Here, the cost of construction, maintenance, and the renewal of payment layers and the vehicle operation costs are to be given due consideration. Means while planning, we should take into consideration of the cost of construction, maintenance, and the renewal of pavement layers. Okay, and the vehicle operation cost are to be calculated. We'll give an example here. Earlier there will be asphalt roads. Nowadays the roads are being built with the concrete roads. Asphalt road is a flexible pavement. Now this concrete pavers is a rigid pavement. Why this tendency has been transferred from the asphalt to the concrete road means the duration. So the asphalt road is having it requires lot of maintenance, continuous maintenance is required, and the road is also is going to be diminished and it is earlier, and it is very if during the rainy season the asphalt roads are very going to be very deteriorated. So that's the reason from asphalt road it has been transferred to the concrete roads. This construction of concrete roads is costlier, but once if you did, it is having longer durable this thing. Okay, but the disadvantage of this concrete road is for the travel it is not been that much comfortable. For that reasons, wherever it is necessary of the durables, in that cases we are going for the concrete roads, and this asphalt road is a flexible road. Okay, so we are going to feel a very comfortable journey, and in the CC roads there is wear and tear is more. Okay, so these things we should take into consideration for designing or planning of the roads. To arrive at the road system and the lengths of different categories of roads, this could provide maximum utility and could be constructed within available resources during the plan period. To do this road system, to arrive at road system, the lengths of different categories of roads, this could be provide maximum utility and could be constructed with an available resource material. Again, the materials are very important in the construction of the road system here. Okay, next is to fix up date-wise priorities. To fixed date was priority for the development of each link based on utility as the main criterion for phasing the road development program. Here again, in the planning itself, we should take into consideration of we should fix the dates on which date which work has to be carried out, isn't it? So this has to be do. These are the objects of the planning. Next is the classification of the roads. Classification of the roads based on different categories. Based on the types of roads, again it is based on season of year. It is all weather roads and fair weather roads. And all weather roads are those roads which are negotiable during all weathers, except at major river crossing where interruption to traffic is permissible up to certain extent. And fair weather roads are the roads where traffic may be interrupted during the monsoon season at causeways where streams may overflow across the roads. In all weather roads are built in such a way that during monsoon season the flooding may be happen. So in such cases these all weather roads are made at higher level so that there is a permission of there is a provision for flow of the water. In fair weather roads may be interrupted during monsoon season as they are made at a lower level. During the flooding there may be interruption. Okay. Next, based on the type of carriageway, there are paved roads, unpaved roads. Paved roads are those roads provided with hard pavement course at least of WBM water band macadam layer. The unpaved roads are the roads not provided with hard pavement surface. Earth and gravel roads are unpaved roads. Paved and unpaved roads means the paved roads are at least provided with a WBM, at least of one water band macadam layer. In unpaved road, it is made with earth and gravel. First, the earth is going to be filled out throughout the road, and the road has been rolled out. Thereafter, again a gravel and moram has been laid on that road, and it is making the with the help of a roller, it is going to make level and compacted. This is unpaved roads. Okay. Based on the type of pavement surface, it is surface roads and surface roads. The surface roads are provided with bituminous or cement concrete surfacing. In unsurfacing roads not provided with bituminous or cement concrete surfacing. Example of this surface road is our example of asphalt road or CC road you can consider. The unsurfaced road means this we are going to see in villages. In villages near the edges of the canal bank or on the roads which are being used for the movement of the caterpillar in a fields. Okay, these are unsurfaced roads. Based on a traffic value, it has been roads as classified as light, medium and heavy. And the light roads are the roads which traffic volume are low. Examples, village are other district road. ODR road means it is other district roads. Okay. Here the very traffic volume is low. Okay. Medium roads are the roads which traffic intensity is relatively more. To ODR, like compared to the other district roads, the medium roads having the higher traffic intensity, and heavy roads are the roads which are having more traffic intensity. That is our national highways or state highways. And this classification is based on our traffic value, the number of vehicles moving per hour. Based on that, we are classifying it as light, medium and heavy. In lighter roads there is very low traffic movement, example our village roads. And in medium roads it is the traffic volume is a bit higher compared to the village roads. So can give other district roads. In heavy roads the traffic volume is more, traffic volume per hour is more. For example, it is national highway or state highways. Based on the load transported or tonnage. Again, based on this classification, it is class A or class 1, class B and class C. Class 1, class 2 or class 3. This has been categorized into 3. Class 1, 2 and 3. In class 1, where the vehicles carries less tons of load on the roads. Means the vehicles carrying it is morely dependent on the transportation which is carrying the load transportation. Okay, class 1 road is having very less tons of load on the roads. The class 2 roads on which vehicle carry more loads, medium commercial vehicles. In class 3, roads on which trucks with heavy tons of loads is allowed. So this has been classified based on the load transported or per tonnage. Based on the location and the function, it is national highway, state highway, major district roads, minor other district roads and village roads. National highways are the roads which are having high density roads, and having a good quality of the materials of the roads, and also this has been connecting the state to state. Okay, national highway between throughout the country, this road highways are being moving. For example, NH4, that is Pune Bangalore highway or Pune Mumbai highway it is, and the state highways. The state highways are the highways in which is going to connect the states, interstates. Okay, and in state highways the density is a bit less compared to the national highway, and also the load carrying capacity is also the state highways is having very less. But in national highways the load carrying capacity is also more, traffic volume is also more, and it is made with class 1. Okay, and major district roads in districts, to connect between the district to district, we are having major district roads and minor district roads and village roads. Again, from the villages, to connect the villages, we are having the village roads. These are what the different types of roads based on the location and the function of the road. Now, the classification based on third 20-year plan, we are having primary system, that is express and a national highway, secondary system, that is state highway and major district roads, tertiary system are rural roads, that is other district roads or village roads. As we have seen that IRC is doing the 20-year plans, correct? IRC, okay, the IRC and IR, okay, these things are doing the 20-year plannings. Based on that, it has been classified as primary, secondary, tertiary system. In primary system, it is express highway and national highways. In secondary, it is state highway and major district roads. In a tertiary, it is ODR or village roads. Now, the classification based on urban roads, it is arterial roads, subarterial roads, collector streets, local streets. Urban roads means within the city we are having different roads here, road types. Okay, for the main line we are having arterial roads. For again we are having subarterial roads. Collector streets means in front of houses there will be streets, and also for the gardening there will be streets and local streets. So this is within the city, this classification. Okay, Now we'll study the road patterns, that is rectangular or block pattern. In this pattern, the whole area is divided into rectangular blocks or plots with streets intersecting at right angles. The main road which passes through the center of the area should be sufficiently wide and other branch roads may be comparatively narrow. The main road is provided a direct approach to outside the city. Now we are studying the different patterns of the roads, isn't it? In that, one is the rectangular or a block pattern. In this pattern, we are having the main roads are having bit wider and sub roads are having bit narrower. And this main roads is connecting at main roads and streets are connecting at right angles, and the main roads is connecting to the center of the area and to the outside the city. The advantages of the rectangular pattern is the rectangular plots may be further divided into small rectangular blocks for construction of buildings placed back to back having roads on their front. Rectangular plots may be and second advantage is in this pattern has been adopted for the city roads. This pattern we are adopting for the city roads. The construction and maintenance of roads of this pattern is comparatively easier. Okay, we will see here the pattern. See that there is a main road which has been connecting from it is having main width is also main broader, and it is been connecting from the city. Okay, next and central business area is at the middle, and there are at perpendicular there is a cross sections that is straight roads are there. Okay. This kind of pattern you can usually see in the highly developed cities. In India, it is this type of system I have seen in Pondicherry. Okay, this city has been built like in this pattern. It is road rectangular block pattern city. Okay, the limitation of this road system is this pattern is not very much convenient because at the intersection the vehicle face each other. As per this, at the intersections that from main road to the street road intersection, the vehicles are facing each other. Okay, because of that there may be chances of accidents, and due to there is various sub streets are there, the speed on the main road is also less. Okay, if it is more, then it is prone to the accidents. But it is very helpful to maintain for the purpose of development purpose. This system is very useful. Next is the radial or a star and block pattern. In this pattern, the entire area is divided into a network of roads radiating from the business outwardly. Means from the center, the roads has been split into in various directions radially. Okay, from the center there will be a movement. Means the central business area will be at the middle of the roads. Okay, from various routes they can come and meet this central business area, and the roads are spread in a radial direction. The advantages of this route pattern radial or star block pattern is it reduces the level of congestion at a primary bottleneck location. Means the conjunction or it reduces the traffic. Okay, because the various different routes are there from the center, so there won't be that much traffic, and prevents traffic from accessing local flows routes in the direction of the event venue that operate a favor of aggressive traffic flow. If one is blocked, then other side traffic can move. If traffic is blocked at one side, you can move from the other side also. Vehicle face each other less than the block pattern. In block pattern, the vehicles are facing more, as there are very more substrates are there. Okay, but in this system it is not there, so facing of vehicle is less in the radial pattern. Limitations are, it proves particularly effective if two-lane ramp traffic does not have to merge at downstream end of the ramp, and it safely appurtenances such as guide rail transition, crash attenuation, attenuators, and post support bases have not been designed to provide adequate protection at hazardous locations from the opposite direction of travel. Radial or star and circular pattern. This is one of the different pattern here. In this system, the main radial roads radiating from central business area are connected together with concentric roads. In these areas, the boundary by adjacent radial roads and corresponding circular roads, the built-up area is planned with a curved block system. At a traditional intersection with stop signs or traffic signals, some of the most common types of crashes are right angle, left turn, and head-on collision. These type of collisions can be severe because vehicles may be traveling through the intersection at high speed. With circular pattern, these type of potential serious crashes essentially are eliminated because vehicles travel in the same direction. By comparing to this block system and radial star or a star block system or a radial pattern, this radial star circular, that is star and circular pattern, is very advantageous. Why? Because there is a vehicles are continuously moving. There is no different there is the facing of vehicles is very less in this pattern. Thus, installing circular pattern in place of traffic signals can also reduce the likelihood of near-end crashes. If we place the traffic signals at the junctions, it reduces the rear-end crashes, and removing the reason for drivers to speed up as they approach green lights, and by reducing abrupt stops at red lights. So as we know that how the tendency of a driver is, whenever green signal is there, he is very rushing towards the signal so that he can cross that without the stopping, okay, in the green signal. And whenever it is red signal, again he is going to come at speed and he is going to be stopped. So there may be chances of accidents, okay. So that has been reduced in this pattern. Because roundabouts improves the efficiency of traffic flow, they also reduce vehicle emissions and fuel consumptions. See, this is here circular star connecting pattern here. It is having built-up area, central business area, and a radial route and a ring route. Okay, so this helps in avoiding the accidents. The limitations of this road is, central lines roads leading to circular pattern should be properly aligned with the central lines. Approach road should be sufficiently curved far enough in advance of circular pattern to reduce vehicle speed of entering the drivers. Island separating the approach and the existing lane, known as splitter island, should extend far enough to provide pedestrian refuge and to delineate the roundabout. The traffic signs, pavement markings, and lighting should be adequate so that drivers are aware that they are approaching a roundabout and that they should reduce their travel speed. And one last one, for older drivers, declines in vision, hearing, and cognitive functions, as well as physical impairments, may affect some older adults' driving ability. Intersection can especially challenging for older drivers. Next one, the radial and star and grid pattern. Change in direction and because straight pattern are the most enduring physical element of an layout. It could potentially contribute to systematic site planning and consequently deserves a closer look. Though the network is entirely interconnected, north-south movement becomes circuitous, indirect and inconvenient, making driver an unlikely choose, the vividly illustrating that interconnectedness by itself is insufficient to facilitate movement. This is the star radial grid pattern here. The advantages of this pattern is keep vehicular traffic safe with higher proportion of three-way intersections, reduces cut through the traffic by similar or other means, and improves traffic flow in both directions using Savannah's cellular structure, and improves land use efficiency and density. This is cellular grid pattern here. The roads are mainly at the center, the focal point will be there, and it is radially the movement will be there, and again it is a grid pattern. Okay, radial as well as grid pattern. The limitations of this is islands separating the approach and exist lanes known as splitter islands should extend far enough. Traffic signs, pavement markings, lighting should be adapted so that drivers are aware that they should be reduce their travel speed. As there is more junctions are there due to grid, so we should keep in mind that the marking of lanes and signals should be placed properly so that driver should recognize it. Next is the hexagonal pattern. In this pattern, the entire area is provided with network of roads formating hexagonal figures at each corner of the hexagon. 3 roads meet the built-up area boundary by the sides of the hexagons is further divided in suitable sizes. This hexagonal road system, it is provided with network of roads. Different roads are going to be meted in the shape of hexagon. The advantage of these roads is 3 roads meet the built-up area boundary by the sides of the hexagon. Means 3 roads can be connected to one road by the sides of the hexagon. Okay, and the limitations: traffic signs, pavement markings, and lighting should be adapted so that driver should reduce his travel speed or reduce his speed. So with this we study the different patterns of the road system. If possible, whenever in case if there is conventional classes, I will teach you through the board check and tug, so that you can understand easily. So I will make as much as possible to learn and understand clearly. We'll close here. Next we'll start with the next video.